Are YouTube comments worth reading? No. I'm just joking. Okay, listen, I'm joking. Listen, no. That's what YouTube told me. Let's get into the skinny of this, all right? I'm a YouTuber that doesn't really get a lot of comments. I'm not like this big famous YouTuber. Let's just talk about what I have. 150K subscribers that are mostly dead and 125 million channel views. That's it. This isn't some braggadocious thing that I'm trying to one-up someone else. I'm literally the man in no contents land. I'd even argue I'm anti-clout. Not in a position, but the fact that I represent it. It could be attention-seeking behavior online. Obviously, I don't necessarily agree with the way people is done, but you're a YouTuber. You post things publicly. If you didn't want some form of attention in some way, shape, or form, why would you post something publicly? You clearly want someone to know what you're doing on the internet, what you're doing in your life, whatever positions you have, or whatever it may be on your content. You know, even if it's just dubbing over something, you want someone else to see it, or else you just keep the videos private or keep it on your computer. What's the point? So when we're looking at YouTube comments, we're looking about why a YouTube comment might not be worth reading, or it could be worth reading. I'm not saying I never got a YouTube comment that might not have been worth reading, but I'm not really a stickler about YouTube comments. YouTube is. My beef will always be with YouTube, and yours should be more likely with YouTube as well. Sometimes, if not most cases. They're the company that rules over everything. We may be considered independent contractors, but YouTube is the final word. Like, we can moderate to a certain degree, but then YouTube's like, nah, we're just not going to allow that word to happen, and you're just like, oh, okay. I mean, we could look at my settings that I have for my words. Oh, wait a minute, that's me. That's supposed to be a joke, by the way. But when we're looking at YouTube comments, we're trying to see what is the value of one. Is it worth it for a YouTuber to read it in any case? Because YouTube has already established that comments were usually made for impressions now. Supposedly an impression rate and impressions to the video so it can help get promoted in the algorithm, which also isn't true all the time, and I just want to completely, not necessarily debunk it, but it's not consistent. You have a 12.5K view video here with 560 comments currently. And most of those being replies, by the way. That's why you probably won't see those in the community tab, because they're under replies. You'd have to physically search them out in most cases. Or maybe there's a setting on here that exists. I know, I sound like a boomer with technology. Not even, dude, you've been a YouTuber for this long, you don't know this thing? It's like, yeah, it doesn't really concern me right now. Let's be concerned whether or not I can even get a view on a video. Can I exist? But you can also see that this video, the French work ethic video, got 63K views and 800 comments. The disparity in views is insane here. Let alone the disparity of viewership is insane that you allow these two to blow up. And even though this was simply a day after this video was starting to blow up, and this video was starting to blow up a little bit, that you only made it get 3K views. Like, what's up with that? I mean, I got a lot of evidence of why, like false demonetizations. I had a channel warning back in the day, and I'll probably just pop them up on the screen right now. There is a decent amount of YouTube comments, and they're supposed to be used for impressions, but it doesn't really affect the video as much as YouTube tries to make it out to be. You're talking about a company to decide to shadow ban the dislike button. I like calling it shadow ban, or to remove it from the public eye. You can obviously get extensions to make it work out as well. And if you don't like ads, you can get ad block as well. It's like, oh my god, a YouTuber just talked about ad block. It's like, yeah, who cares? Irvin James. I posted a picture of Bella Ramsey's face on Kevin James. That's it. There's nothing more. You could say she's ugly, you could say she's beautiful, you could say the picture's ugly, you say the picture's beautiful. Name her Jeff Castellucci. I think they're talking about the cat video I did with the animal shelter. Make me think of that one cat that is this worth reading though? I'm not saying it's bad or good. That's not the problem here. Is it valuable? No, not really. You know, it's like in terms of, I'm trying to be objective here. I'm not saying you can't say anything good. It's not about being worried about criticism, right? Because obviously I don't reply to people. What's the meme? Agoraphobic hermit. Henry David Thoreau, whatever, when he went out in the cabin, talked about living a life in the forest or his lake or whatever, and how he was distant from society and all that stuff. Yeah, that's basically me. I haven't seen this in years. Not after playing Parappa the Rapper. This is recommended me to get. All right, here we go. Sitting in the car, and it's not a bad comment. It's just, it simply is. It's hard to have adjectives that describe these things because it's really not adding much. A lot of it can actually be compliments and insults, but usually it's just people speaking their mind. That's it. It's not about compliment or insult anymore. It's just, we'll just leave something, I guess. I don't know. I'm bored. You had a board, I'll just leave a comment, whatever. That's who we call Dr. Dre. Babe, wake up. The Medieval Diss Track 2 just dropped. No, this was last year. What are you talking about? I'm gonna be Kevin James. This feels extremely online. Listen to me. You say these things, you better not find out that you're extremely online too. It might be a self-aware post, but hey, it's also a self-reporting post. You gotta be aware of that. Just saying. What is that? What am I looking at? It's Kevin James with Bella Ramsey's face on it. See, and I don't need to respond to this. I know what it is, but I don't need to sit there go and reply and say, yes, it's the greatest human being ever made. Thanks for stopping by. I'm not gonna do this. That's not necessary for anything, even including myself. Send this to your weeb friends. It's not, okay. How do I say this? Obviously, it's a bias to say you find something more interesting than something else isn't. But it's more interesting to find people in their personal stories. And I know people joke about this, but it also is true that some of these might be fake and gay. I'm giving Magnus chase. We hurled through the sky Like things that hurtle through the sky. I don't know what that means. Would you say these add value to me personally? No. Would you say it add values to the video? Well, technically based on impressions, if YouTube is still consistent about that, which they clearly aren't, then it should be yes, but it's not. It's no. Is this JD Fans? If things could be completed during work hours, then that's your just poor planning or even poor management in general. Who are you telling this to? Sometimes YouTube comments to me is like talking into the wind. And then there's rare exceptions like, oh, hold on, I'll show you guys. Let's do specifically the mods video. Some comments are just going to go relatively with the video's gimmick. This is about streamers telling their Twitch mods or YouTube mods to do something about other people in their chat, usually to ban them or do absurd things. It started out as just simply banning them or timing them out. Now it's just put them in a dungeon or whatever. It's mods, make him stub his toe every day for a month, you know. Mods, let's isekai him to Warhammer 40k as an average Imperial Guardsman. Nothing too crazy. Modern Ice is hut mods. Mods make him barely remember the plot of a movie he watched as a kid, but he's unable to remember his title who stared in it, and have no discernible way to look it up on the internet. Also, there is people that are publicly subscribed that I know about, right? Obviously, they give the symbol. There's a lot of people that just aren't. First of all, they don't care to make their subscriptions public, or they're just here to comment and move on. That's just simple as it is. It's not even say tourism, it's window shopping to me. At least tourists are more likely, statistically, to buy something from the gift shop. I cannot say that about window shoppers because they're just there to look. Do I hate them for that? No. I mean, you've probably window shopped before. You probably posted a comment that didn't have anything to do with the video. And the YouTuber is just like, well, what's the value of this? I'm trying to be like the dumbest Greek philosopher. What is the value of this? When is a comment not a comment? When it's a jar. Mods, move every electron from his left rag. I can't speak. Okay, that's it. I'm banning myself from the English language. But that's pretty much it in terms of if you want to look behind the scenes of what it looks like just looking at comments or just what's the value of it. As you can tell, it's not very. It's just people to comment on things just for the algorithm and stuff like that. I mean, it's not to say you can't make it more to your liking. You could tune your comments if you want, not just simply through moderations, but through the content you make. You know, the content I make doesn't really call for a community or anything like that. I dub something over or voice over something for better or for worse. It's just that. It's not about political positions or whatever. I think people look a little too much deep into things that simply aren't there, finding meaning where there is none, knee deep in bias that they don't see the truth. Or better yet, they're drowning in bias that could never reach the surface of the truth. Something Reddit, I don't know. You guys have a good one. If you want to become a member of my channel, it's only 99 cents. That's it. I got to get better. I'm terrible at promoting myself. I don't pay for promotion. I don't do that. You can do that on YouTube if you want to. I don't. You can argue I'm a bad YouTuber, bad business because of those reasons, right? That's just simply something I don't want to do. I always try to be more algorithmic naturally. That's why I always like doing stuff on YouTube alone. I wasn't this big. I mean, it's not to say I never tried, but I was just never a big social guy. That's just how I am. It's not to say I can't talk to people. It's just I never had really an interest to. That or I didn't feel worthy. I feel like when you try to collab with someone, it should be mutual. You both benefit. I feel like if people collab with me, they wouldn't benefit from it, even if they were a smaller channel, because I simply don't have the clout, popularity, whatever, to help them deal with issues such as false demonetization, appeals. I just don't have that power. Once y'all take care of yourselves, have an excellent one doing whatever. Maybe not doing whatever, but just have a good one on me, okay? Listen, it's not that complicated.